all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Welcome to Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. The Phillies take the field. This is the final game between these two ball clubs this season. They split two in Toronto. Toronto won the first game here last night, and Blue Jays trying to win another series here tonight with a W. The Blue Jays are 6 games over 500 for the first time this season. They're still third in the AL East. Top of the order, Jose Bautista back in the leadoff spot, and there's Josh Donaldson. He's enjoyed his time playing against the Phillies. 6 for 11. A couple of doubles, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs with those 6 hits. And right behind him, no one is hotter than Edwin Encarnacion. He has played 19 career games here in Philadelphia and hit 11 home runs in this ballpark and 16 RBIs in those 19 games. He absolutely loves hitting in this ballpark. Tonight, he'll get his second look at Aaron Nola, the young right-hander.
Aaron Nola just celebrated his 23rd birthday. That's back on June the 4th. He was selected by the Phillies in the first round, 7th overall, just a couple of seasons ago in June of 2014. Did you know? Out of high school, he was drafted by the Blue Jays in the 22nd round, did not sign, went to LSU, and then was that #1 pick by the Phillies. 13 starts this year. He's 5-5 with a 298 earned run average. That 298 earned run average just outside the top 15 in the National League. He's a fine young talent. He's got a good fastball, swing and miss curveball, and a very good changeup. The Blue Jays have been hitting the ball, but they're in a stiff competition tonight against Aaron Nola.
Defensively, there are some changes for Philadelphia. They've committed 38 errors on the season. Tyler Goodell makes his first start in left field against the Blue Jays. Herrera's in center. Jimmy Paredes, who spent some time with the Blue Jays earlier, is in right, making his 6th start out in right. Michael Franco returns to third base. He's their regular third baseman. Galvis Hernandez up the middle. Tommy Joseph has played all 4 games against the Blue Jays. Behind the plate, Cameron Rupp. Aaron Nola, the young right-hander.
And Michael Franco is an exceptional talent over at third base. This is his first start in the field since June the 3rd. He's had some knee problems. He's been dealing with that. This is the first time that we have seen him in this series in the field. He is a special talent, somebody you can build your organization around.
Jose Bautista back in the leadoff spot as Michael Saunders is back in left field. So Bautista moves back into the top spot in the order. Nola is set. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Bautista takes it low for a ball. .229 for Bautista on the season. He takes a strike. It's 1-1.
Nothing real fancy from Aaron Nola. It's fastball, curveball, changeup. He throws a lot of strikes. Just 16 base on balls all season long.
Good fastball, strike at the knees. The Phillies are excited about their young starters. They've got a core of young starters that could be the rotation for the future here in Philadelphia.
This is their best starter, in my mind, their best. Curveball out of there. He's 5-5. Just they don't score many runs with an ERA under 3. We saw Jared Eichhoff in this 4-game series. We saw Zach Eflin, another 22-year-old. They've got some talent. Vince Velasquez, we haven't seen him. He's on the disabled list with an arm problem.
Slider down and away. Full count to Bautista, and he's used to that. Boy, he makes a pitcher work. Jose has 48 walks this season. That's the most in the American League. Right behind him is Josh Donaldson. Bautista called out. That pitch looked like it was off the plate outside, but the call goes against Jose. So Josh Donaldson will step in the box. He faced Aaron Nola here last August.
And he welcomed him into the upper deck. Watch where this ball ends up. It's a fastball on the inner half, and Donaldson got every bit of that one to hit it that deep. It almost landed up into that Harry the K's barbecue place up there. That was a bomb by Josh Donaldson.
Donaldson, that was his first of 2 home runs that night. He hit his second later on against Genmar Gomez. Home runs number 32 and 33 for the season last August.
Talked to him today, and I was asking him, do you try to hit the ball to right field when you need some base hits? He goes, no, they've been pitching me away a lot, and when you see me hit balls to right field, that's just a byproduct of a good swing where I stay on the ball. So are you trying to hit the ball in the middle of the field? I'm trying to stay in there and trying to go right through the middle, and you can see from that defensive shot right there, there's a gaping hole right back through the middle.
So Nola has worked Donaldson away. That should play in Donaldson's favor, using the middle part of the infield and center part of the field. Upstairs, 3-1 now to Donaldson. We have mentioned that ever since Bautista has been pushed up into the top spot in the order, you got to deal with Bautista, Donaldson, and Encarnacion. That's a tough way to start a game.
Taken all the way to take a look at that. When you saw that spray chart right there from Josh Donaldson, he's not a pulled type of hitter. He hits the ball all over the field. He gets in trouble when he cuts his swing off, where he tries to pull too much and his swing gets cut off. He's better when he stays in the middle.
There's a ball right up the middle for a base hit. They play him extremely to pull at the shortstop position, and Donaldson gets a base hit.
Well, Edwin Encarnacion is going to get himself ready into that batter's box, and what a season he's starting now to put together. How about in April? The OPS was 698. It climbed up to 800, and now in the month of June, he's going crazy. 7 home runs, 17 RBIs, a 1.223 OPS. Edwin is heating up just like the weather is.
58 at-bats coming into this game tonight with 7 homers and 17 RBIs. Donaldson's not going to run in this situation, although he had a big stolen base in last night's game against Jeremy Hellickson. He started a double steal with Encarnacion at first base.
That was just a heads-up play by the Blue Jays. They had something on Hellickson, and they got a great jump and no chance to throw out either one of them. But you're right, with the way this guy is swinging the bat right now, there's no way you're going to try and steal. He can score you from first base just as easily.
Edwin is 8 for 15 in his last 4 games. That includes 3 doubles and 4 home runs. So you factor in what he's done in those 4 games. He's slugging 1.533 over a 4-game span. No one in the majors has come close to that over a 4-game period this season.
You know, and sometimes all it takes is a little bit of a tweak. You see Edwin hits from that open stance.
Swinging a drive to left, and he's done it again. What a start for Encarnacion again. He homers in his first at bat, this time a 2-run shot. Number 18.
And it doesn't matter what pitch type it is. He's hitting fastballs out of the ballpark. He's hitting curveballs. He's hitting changeup. That one looked like one of the curveballs that Aaron Nola has. He's staying on everything. Edwin enjoying himself in this ballpark. Watch the front foot of Edwin Encarnacion. When he's stepping back towards the pitcher, everything is in unison and working together. He gets in trouble when he opens that front foot up just a little bit too much. Right now it's going right back to the pitcher, and he is staying on line and hitting everything.
Nola comes inside with that first pitch to Saunders. Encarnacion, that's his 18th home run of the season, his 12th home run here at Citizens Bank Park.
He let the parrot out of the cage, didn't he? Early in this game.
Parrot's flying early. Michael Saunders gets a couple of pitches inside, and they have pounded him inside a lot lately.
They're just going by that scouting report. There are teams that really like to pound Michael in, so you can look for it at time.
He hits one high and deep to right. Paredes looking up, back-to-back home runs for the Blue Jays. For Saunders, that's number 12.
the Blue Jays continue to pound the Phillies, and Aaron Nola continues to get hit hard. Last time out, he had his shortest outing of his career. Just 3 2/3 innings against Washington. Got pounded. Getting pounded right here. That looked like a changeup down and away. Michael Saunders takes him deep. R.A. Dickey enjoying that one.
Everything's coming together for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays going back-to-back for the 5th time this season. And the last time it happened, Encarnacion and Saunders on the 11th of June against Baltimore. Russell Martin takes a first pitch off the plate outside. Russell's had a nice little run lately. He's picked up RBIs in 15 of his last 18 games. Russell's driven in a run in 6 straight. That ties his career high in that regard.
You know, you can see him starting to lock it in too. A couple of fastballs that he wasn't afraid to take for strikes.
There he takes strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Aaron Nola, both called third strikes.
I think Aaron Nola learned something about his breaking ball. Blue Jays can hit it. Curveball by Encarnacion and then a changeup. So he said, I got to use the fastball.
Now, Blue Jays, we mentioned how they strike early. Getting 3 runs here in the first. Kevin Pillar batting with 2 outs.
First inning's been a good inning for the Blue Jays this year.
Pillar shoots it down the right side, foul. Now, we mentioned the Blue Jays in their first inning success, and they have really gotten on pitchers quickly. First inning runs scored this season. The Red Sox have scored 60. Blue Jays with 3 here in this inning have scored 48. Third in the majors. Nationals are second.
Boy, what that does for your starting pitcher when you're on the road and you can get multiple runs before they even take the mound, that's got to give that pitcher a lot of confidence.
Encarnacion, number 18, Saunders, number 12. Kevin Pillar behind, 0-2. Stays on that one and stays alive. There's a dad with his daughter that got himself a Father's Day present.
Somebody made a nice catch.
Pillar strikes out. Nolan strikes out the side, but he finds himself down by 3. Josh Donaldson had a 1-out single, set the table for Encarnacion. Another home run here in Philadelphia, and right behind him, Michael Saunders, back-to-back, 3-0 Blue Jays. Phillies are 6 games under 500. They find themselves 4th in the National League East. And Odubel Herrera, the center fielder, has hit well in interleague play, a .303 average against the American League with 2 homers and 7 RBIs. Down in the 8th spot, Cesar Hernandez, the switch-hitting second baseman, is 4 for 10 in his last 3 games. He's put together a mini 3-game hit streak, but his opponent tonight on the mound, the former Philly Jay Happ, has already been staked to a 3-run lead.
Jay was selected by the Phillies in the 3rd round of 2004 draft. Spent some time in Houston, spent some time with the Blue Jays, Seattle, Pittsburgh, and now back with the Toronto Blue Jays. 7-3 with a very respectable .370 earned run average. This is his 14th start. He's won all 3 career starts versus his former team, the Phillies.
Herrera batting .306 for the season. He's done a nice job playing in center field. He is a converted infielder. He played short and second in the minor leagues for the Texas Rangers. He goes after that pitch, and Happ has an even count at 1-1. Herrera's just 24 years old. He was taken by the Phillies in the Rule 5 draft in December of 2014. Pitch down and away for a ball. It's 2-1, the leadoff man for Philadelphia.
Jay was good last time out. 7 innings, did not walk a batter for the first time this season in a game. He did give up his share of home runs, but he was pitching against Baltimore. That's to be expected.
Little tapper back to the mound. Happ goes to Encarnacion, 1 down. Blue Jays put on a show defensively last night. At third base, Josh Donaldson was terrific. Encarnacion at first played well. Michael Saunders back in left field after missing last night's game. Kevin Pillar in center, and Bautista is in right. Josh Donaldson at third base, Goins and Barney up the middle, Encarnacion at first, and Russell Martin behind the plate for Jay Happ.
You know, the Blue Jays are now tied for 2nd in the American League in fielding percentage. Josh Donaldson had a night all to himself last night, making some incredible plays at third base. That's one part of their game, I think, the Blue Jays, that have gone unnoticed over the last couple of weeks, playing some pretty good defense.
Yeah, they had a rough spot about a month ago where they really kicked it around a little bit. Troy Tulowitzki very uncharacteristically made a few errors in the field, but they have tightened things up lately. Freddie Galvis takes strike 2. Galvis, a switch hitter, doing a good job playing shortstop. This is his 2nd season as the everyday shortstop. Right down the middle, and he knew it. Jay Happ retires the first 2 quickly here in the bottom of the 1st.
I think he was looking for a breaking ball right there, and Jay Happ, he's been using that fastball, just pounds it right down the middle. No chance. Galvis, who's a free swinger, takes that one right there.
Forgot his trigger on that one. 2 down. This is Michael Franco. He had a pinch hit at bat in last night's game. First time the Blue Jays had seen him. He is a free swinger. Came off the bench and struck out to end the game.
He was launching him into the bushes in center field in batting practice today. He's got a lightning quick bat. But right now, Jay Happ is throwing his fastball by some of these hitters, like they're looking for an off-speed pitch.
Russell Martin wants another fastball upstairs. How about that? 3 up, 3 down. Your team scores your 3 runs in the top half of the inning. You want them back up at the plate.
And earn some points. Enter this following code MBJ5379. That's all you have to do, and you'll earn your points. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. Code must be entered by 11:59 tonight, but if you miss out, don't worry. There'll be another one. And what are they spraying on this poor guy, Buck?
Must be a birthday or something. He's having a celebration, so he looks like he's having a good time with it. The Blue Jay fan here in Philadelphia. City of brotherly love, but it's been known to be a tough sports venue for opposing team fans. Not tonight. That's not the case.
It's been tough for home players too
over the years. This is Darwin Barney getting the start at second as he's giving Devin Travis the night off. Barney batting .295. Ground ball through the right side into right for a base hit. Lots of hits the other way. That's the fourth hit for the Blue Jays. It's been hits or strikeouts so far in this ball game.
That's what you want to do with that pitch. Just take it the other way. By location at home, Aaron Nolan's been pretty good. On the road, he's been even better. Nothing wrong with those numbers. 379 earned run average in this ballpark. This is a hitter's paradise. A 259 batting average. Has been better on the road. Told you his last time out was the shortest of his career, just 3 2/3 innings, as Washington torched him up.
Washington will do that. Of course, they had a dramatic walk-off win last night. Jason Worth hit one off the top of the fence. It was ruled a single. As Michael Taylor came in and scored from second, game was over.
Yeah, game winner.
Brian Goins. Brian's really starting to swing the bat well, like he did at the end of last season.
I got a chance to chat with him just a little bit today, and he says, I finally feel like I can hit the ball to left field with authority now. I don't care what kind of pitch it is, I can hit it over there. At the beginning of the year, for some reason, he got into some bad habits and just started pulling the ball too much. I said, so if you pull the ball now, is that a mistake? He said, no, pull the ball. It might be a breaking ball where I just got out in front. Right now, I can feel like I can keep that front side closed up long enough I can hit the ball to left field with authority. Remember at the beginning of the year? Pitches away, instead of staying on top of him and hitting that other way, he was popping him up. He was getting underneath him.
Pitch off the plate outside. 3-0 now to Goins. Again, we have to remind you we are playing by National League rules, so the pitcher is on deck. Goins batting in the 8th spot. So he's got to be very patient and make Nola throw a strike. And he does. Goins batting .273 for the month of June. He has 6 hits in 22 at bats, but he's got a double and 2 triples among those 6 hits. Starting to drive the ball.
Drive the ball, and that's all. That all goes back to having a good approach at the plate. You don't open up too quickly.
Ground ball to the right side. Hernandez will look at second, and Goins is out at first as Barney slides in safely at second. Goins almost snuck it past Hernandez for a base hit.
Well, he was playing close to the bag, double play depth, and he had a long way to go there. All that means now is Jay Happ gets to swing the bat. You see Darwin Barney, he was asking Louis Rivera if he was going to swing the bat or if he's going to sacrifice. And it looked like they told him to just go ahead and swing. Jay's been in the National League. He knows how to handle that bat.
He swings and fouls the ball off his leg. Jay's had a hit this season. He had a hit out in San Francisco for his career. Jay's had 182 at bats. He's hitting .093. He actually has a home run. Hit that home run against the Brewers in Milwaukee.
Tell you what, he doesn't look foreign up there or out of place. He looks like a hitter, doesn't he? I had a great talk with Marco Estrada today, and I said, Marco, you look pretty good up there hitting. He said, I knew every pitch that was coming. I said, what do you mean? Did you see something? He goes, no, I was thinking like a pitcher when I was hitting, and I knew every pitch. A couple of fastballs. Once he got to 2 strikes, I knew I was going to get a couple of breaking balls, and once he got back into the count, he was going to challenge me.
Jay Happ takes a curveball for strike 3. That's 4 strikeouts already for Aaron Nola.
See, I thought those pitchers were pretty smart, thinking right along.
But you know what? We mentioned it all throughout the course of the game that Estrada and Hellickson were so similar in their pitching styles. So when Estrada said he was thinking right along with Hellickson, that's a natural act. You would think, hey, he pitches like me, probably thinks like me.
And he was thinking right along with them correctly, and I might add.
Jose Bautista called out on what looked to be a ball, pitch away. Jose last night was batting in the 2 spot as Michael Saunders was not in the starting lineup, so Carrera started in left and led off.
You know, and you picked up on it last night when he swung at that 2-0 pitch. He did roll his ankle just a little bit. He came into the ballpark today a little bit sore with that ankle. It's not the reason he's not playing. Not playing because Michael Saunders is healthy, but they also just wanted to give him some time off from rolling that ankle last night.
He's been playing quite a bit lately with Bautista dinged up a little bit, and then Michael Saunders. 2-0 to Jose. 2-0 changeup. No matter what you're hitting, when you're a 2-time home run champ, pitchers pitch very carefully to you. There's Carrera sitting on the bench, at least for the start of this ball game. Bounced in the dirt. 3-1.
The pitchers become very careful when they get to this part of the lineup for the Blue Jays. Start nibbling, trying to throw that perfect pitch.
It's called self-preservation.
Well, that's when you make mistakes, when you try to make that perfect pitch.
Fastball in there for a strike. It's a full count. Donaldson waits on deck. He singled and scored in the 1st inning. Breaking ball for strike 3. Well, Aaron Nola has 5 strikeouts through 2 innings, but he trails 3-0.
was telling me yesterday that he has so many fond memories of his time in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. He still gets a charge out of coming back and pitching here. However, there are only 2 members of the current team he was teammates with, that being Ryan Howard and Carlos Ruiz. His best season as a starter in the majors came as a member of the Phillies. He was 12-4 back in 2009. However, it did not end well for him here. He got traded at the deadline in 2010 for Roy Oswalt. And guys, do you remember a guy with Blue Jay ties that went with Hap to the Astros?
Absolutely.
Anthony Gose.
Anthony Gose.
There you go.
Jonathan Villar went in that trade as well. He went from Philadelphia to Houston. Villar now playing in Milwaukee.
Those 2 teams have hooked up for a lot of trades, haven't
Yeah,
they?
they sure have.
Phillies and Houston.
Anytime you have a trading partner like that, and both teams have had success with the acquired players, they'll go right back there. Tommy Joseph hits a line drive, and that's going to bang off the wall in deep center. Pilar hustles it back in for Joseph. That's his first hit in the 4 games against the Blue Jays.
That ball was hit hard by Joseph. I think you got to use that fastball and get it up. Jay Happ started this season house of fire. His first 7 starts, his ERA was 2.05. Last 6, he's added 4 runs to that earned run average by lowering his opponent's batting average. Go figure. I think it's the home runs. He's doubled those. 8 home runs given up over his last 6 starts, and really not any way that you can explain what the problem has been unless you go back and see who those last starts have been against, and they've been against some heavy hitting teams.
Twice against the Yankees. He's pitched against the Tigers in Detroit and Baltimore in his last start. This is Cameron Rupp, the catcher. There's a strike. It's a 1-1 count to the Philly catcher.
You know what Jay can do now that we didn't see the first time around with the Blue Jays? He's been able to take that fastball. He's been able to put it on both sides of the plate. He worked a little bit quicker, but fastball command. And when you talk to him, that's basically what he says. I can command my fastball. I can throw it where I want to. I don't make too many mistakes with it.
There's a perfect example. Pitch number 3 on the inside corner, and Hamp's ahead 1-2.
Well, look at the sequence on our pitch tracker when you see 1, 2, 3. 1 down and in, 2 away, 3 in. That's about hitting both sides of the plate, making good pitches when you have to.
Martin called for that fastball up. They missed downstairs, and you know that has been Jay's strength, elevating that fastball to get those swings and misses.
It looks so hittable if you're standing at the plate. That 4-seam fastball about letter high, it looks like you can hit it 9 miles, and the best you can do is you fly out to center field. I think that's a good call. High fastball right here.
Jay pitched 4 seasons with the Phillies. His record 14-5. He made 31 starts, appeared in 47 games before he was dealt to Houston. He spent 3 years with the Astros. Line to first. Lots of time for the double play. Tommy Joseph got a little bit ahead of himself. He was thinking about scoring before that ball was down safely on the ground. Another good play by the defense for the Blue Jays.
You're down by 3 runs. It's the 2nd inning. Third base coach will tell you, watch the line drive, make sure it gets down. But you're right. He just got ahead of himself a little bit too quickly. Encarnacion makes a play. And then the out, watch his first movement is to go to third base, but you got to make sure that that ball gets down. And it's an easy double play for the Blue Jays.
Edwin had a couple of good plays at first in last night's game, including scooping a low throw out of the dirt from Donaldson. I think he likes getting out in the field from time to time, getting involved in the game, both sides of the baseball.
He made a great play last night on a ball that he dove for, and when he flipped it, he was a little bit late getting that runner at first base, and it ended up being an infield hit, but an outstanding play by Encarnacion over first base.
Jimmy Paredes gets on the pitch. Paredes is playing for the 5th time in right field. Actually, 6 starts he's made in right field. His 13th game overall since coming to the Phillies.
He wants to swing. He is a free swinger. I don't think the Blue Jays have gotten him out yet, have they, since they traded him?
Last 3 at-bats he's had against him, he's got 3 hits. Happ thought that was strike 3. He was headed toward the dugout. Paredes played in 17 games for the Blue Jays. He had a home run, drove in a pair of runs.
He got caught in a numbers game. Looked like he was going to be a good fit for the Blue Jays. He can hit. They needed some punch off the bench.
The 2-out walk issued to Paredes.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY Expert Sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Jimmy Paredes is a hard man to walk. That's his 45th walk. This is his 269th game. Didn't walk much. Hernandez goes after the first pitch, and that'll do it. Phillies are done. In the bottom of the 2nd, we'll head to the 3rd. Jay Happ and the Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead.
Sportsnet magazine in partnership with Scotiabank. A portion of proceeds will go to the Gordie and Colleen Howe Foundation. Available on newsstands now. Guys, over 900 people attended his funeral yesterday, including Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Ted Lindsay, Steve Yzerman, Guy Lafleur, and Scotty Bowman. A lot of big names in the world of hockey.
Well, that's a great tribute to a wonderful man and a terrific hockey player, one of the best. Mr. Hockey was honored appropriately by so many great hockey players. Josh Donaldson singled. He was on base when Edwin Encarnacion hit the home run in the 1st. Changeup finds the outside corner.
I'm continually amazed at this defensive setup by the Phillies. I don't know where they got their information to put the shortstop in such pole situation. Josh's strengths are right up the middle.
Aaron Nola has faced Josh Donaldson 3 times. Josh is 3 for 3 with a home run. Josh has now scored 55 runs. He's getting on base, he's driving in runs, he's hitting home runs, and he's making Gold Glove caliber plays at 3rd.
I think he's healthy. I think his legs are healthy. If you remember, he had some calf problems earlier this season. He had some hamstring problems earlier this season. Remember the ball that he got hit by Liam Hendricks? He said that one really hurt. Really messed up his quad. So he says, I'm finally healthy, and it's starting to show. You know when you're hitting, if you don't have your legs underneath you, you got no power, you got no zip. Also had the thumb problem. He was dealing with that. He said today that finally feels good.
Now you can see he's got a 9-game hit streak because he feels so good physically. Breaking ball. He takes ball 4. So once again, Edwin will come to the plate with a man on base. Edwin has been a backbone of this offense. When Donaldson and Edwin get it going, man, the Blue Jays can really turn around things. They're 18-8 since the 19th of May. That's on the heels of a 5-game losing streak. And they've both gotten it going with the bat. And because of that, Blue Jays have started to make some dent in the lead of the Orioles and the Red Sox.
Well, when you've got hitters who can hit for extra base power, Donaldson can do that. Edwin can do that. His slugging percentage 1.5 over his last 15 at bats. And then he homers tonight. But when you've got guys with extra base power, they are the guys who drive in runs. They are the guys who give you those big innings, and they can carry ball clubs. The Blue Jays are very fortunate that they've got a couple of guys right now who are hitting like that, hot. 6 home runs in 6 games for Edwin.
That was what was so surprising about the start for this team. Everybody was cold at the same time. Now you've got Donaldson and Encarnacion hot. Travis is starting to swing the bat well. Goins is starting to swing the bat well.
Martin, Saunders, you know, it's starting to get a little bit more length in that lineup.
Well, you mentioned it, your conversation with Edwin. He talked about not missing his pitch. Boy, you talk about that. You can put that in capital letters lately.
Doesn't that sound simple? I'm missing my pitch. That was the problem, and it's so true. You get one pitch maybe every at bat to hit, and that's called your pitch. Something right out over the plate. How many times did we see Edwin foul that ball back or pop it up or just miss it? But he just stuck with it, kept working, kept getting his work together. The timing's coming in, and now he's getting his pitch and he's not missing it. And now pitchers are getting very careful with him. Those 3 pitches not even close.
Well, when you look at his numbers, Edwin has hit .233 with nobody on base. The numbers jump dramatically when he's got runners on, up to .270. He's still hitting under 200 with runners in scoring position, hitting .197. But he leads the American League in RBIs. And that's all that matters. You're doing better than anybody else, and you win games when you knock in runs.
Yeah, I don't care how you do it. Just get them in. Something about this ballpark is bringing out the best in Edwin again. .30 breaking ball.
How about that?
How about that for respect?
That's when you know you're hot, when you're getting the 3-0 breaking ball with a man at first and nobody out.
See him bend back on that pitch. Expecting a fastball.
Back-to-back walks to start the 3rd. Michael Saunders comes to the plate with nobody out and 2 men aboard.
Well, remember what they did to him. A couple of fastballs inside, pushed him off the plate. Then he went changeup down and away. Didn't get it away far enough. And Michael crushes that ball to right field. That is home run number 12 for Saunders.
Michael's career high in home runs is 19. That happened back in 2012 while he was with the Seattle Mariners. Breaking ball downstairs for a ball. That season in 2012 is the only season in which Michael had more than 500 at-bats in a full season. Played in 139 games in 2012. You can see over his last 10 games he's been swinging a very good bat. 5 ribbies and he scored 5.
Look at the extra base hits. 7 extra base hits over those last 10 games. Driving the ball down the line. Hitting the ball in the gaps when you need to. Knocking it out of the ballpark. His approach at the plate has been outstanding.
Well, Donaldson and Encarnacion pulled off a double steal against Jeremy Hellickson in last night's game, and that's why Nolan had an eye on them. He wasn't going to have it happen to him again tonight. It was the same scenario for the Blue Jays in the 4th inning of last night's game. Donaldson walked, Edwin walked, and then Donaldson led the charge for the double steal, and that set up a sac fly for Russell Martin.
They just did their homework. They had something on Hellickson that told them that his timing to home plate and his one look and then go, and they did their homework and they pulled off the double steal beautifully without even a throw.
Fly ball to deep center field. Herrera is back. He makes the catch. Donaldson tags at second. Encarnacion was all the way to second. He retreats to first. Boy, Blue Jays, they are doing everything right. That was a perfect example of base running. Donaldson tagged at second. Encarnacion was all the way to second in case that ball got over Herrera's head.
That was always a very hard play when you're a runner at second base and there's the long fly ball into the outfield. What do you do as a runner at second base? Do you just stand there? Well, the rule of thumb now is the outfielder gets closer to the ball, you get closer to the bag, and Donaldson ran it perfectly. He reached up for that ball, caught it, and he was standing on the bag, and he tagged easily. Now he's at third base with less than 2 outs.
Russell Martin, he had a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning in last night's game. Takes a first pitch strike. Russell has RBIs in 6 straight games. That ties his career high. He's got 23 ribbies now.
Slowly but surely, very quietly picking up those hits. He's been doing a good job driving in that runner from third base in less than 2 outs.
He's got a battle 0-2.
He's been looking for a breaking ball from Nolan. He hasn't thrown him one yet.
Now you don't have the luxury of looking for a particular pitch. He got a piece of it, hitting off the catcher, Cameron Rupp. 3-0 Blue Jays. They went back-to-back with home runs in the first. Edwin Encarnacion hit a 2-run, 1-out home run, and then the next batter, Michael Saunders, went deep. 5th time the Blue Jays have hit back-to-back home runs this season.
They threatened in just about every inning last night except the first inning. Blue Jays ended up leaving 6 runners on base last night, scoring 7 runs.
They were just 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position in last night's game.
Threatening again here.
Broke around the plate, missed that inside corner. Russell's having very good at bats. He's really slowed things down at the plate and been much more selective.
There's the curveball he was waiting for.
He's been waiting for that the entire at bat. He took 2 fastballs right down the middle looking for that breaking ball. So now as a young pitcher you say, man, Russell's looking for that curveball, and Russell might have talked him right back into a fastball.
Yeah, and you got to think that Russell is thinking about that right here. He might try that comeback fastball on the outside part of the plate now.
It was the fastball, but it missed off the plate outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Nola working to the veteran Russell Martin. He stays alive. The Blue Jays, they have grounded into 63 double plays this season. That's the most in the American League. That's why Russell would love to get something up in the zone. He can get into the air at least.
Done a good job lately of hitting sacrifice flies, getting the ball up into the air, getting it into the outfield. He's battling them. This is pitch number 8.
Line drive, base hit. Donaldson will jog in from third. Russell Martin picks up another RBI. That's 7 straight games with an RBI. That's a career high for Russell Martin. So Kevin Pillar will step in the box with 1 out.
Ball hit into the stands, and what a catch. No way, Dad. He catches the baseball, holds on to the daughter, but loses his French fries.
That's okay. He kept his daughter safe. He got a souvenir for her. She can present it to him on Sunday and Father's Day. So it is 4-0 Blue Jays. Kevin Pillar struck out to end the first.
Be aggressive on this first pitch here.
He is. Bounces it through the left side. Encarnacion's going to have to stop, as Tyler Goodell was very shallow in left field. So Pillar jumped on that first pitch fastball and picks up a base hit.
Didn't you figure that he was going to try and jump ahead of him, strike one with that fastball? It's got a little sink to it, trying to get the ground ball. Well, he gets the ground ball, but he gets it through the hole. You can see the shortstop playing close to the bag in double play depth. No chance for him to get that. Goodell, the left fielder, wasn't that deep. Luis Rivera does the right thing, holds that runner up, doesn't want to run into an out.
Now you got a pitcher up against the wall here in the 3rd inning, and you want to make sure you don't give them any easy outs. Bob McClure out to chat with his young right-hander.
This is like the 4th inning yesterday. The 2 walks that started the inning for the Blue Jays came around to score. Jeremy Hellickson was talking about that after the game. He says, I've got to be a little bit more aggressive in that situation. You walk those first 2 guys, invariably they're going to come around to score.
Blue Jays scored 3 runs on 2 hits in that 4th inning. Goins and Travis both driving in runs after the Martin sac fly. Darwin Barney has a base hit already tonight. Russell Martin with another RBI. Bases are loaded for Darwin Barney. Nola has been able to get that curveball over fairly frequently, and you can see it buckles the knees of some right-handed hitters.
Well, he throws hard, just enough, hard enough that you have to respect that fastball, and then drops that little breaking ball on you.
Breaking ball hit to the shortstop. Galvis to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. Kevin Pillar with a good clean slide at second. Slid right over the bag. He was all over Hernandez at second.
You know what he did? Is he slid and rolled up over on that bag, so the second baseman had nowhere to go. That was a takeout slide, an illegal slide, and it got Darwin Barney an RBI. Watch Pillar come in hard, slide, and then just stay right on the bag.
Bill Miller, the crew chief, is the second base umpire. Watch Miller. He's really studying this whole play as Pillar stays down. Nothing wrong with that slide at all. He slid right into the base. Barney legs it out, picks up an RBI, and now they're going to have a look at that slide at second. Pete McCannon, the Philly manager, has asked the umpires to take a look at that slide at second. So the play is a fielder's choice. Barney gets credited with the RBI as the Blue Jays now have a 5-0 lead.
You know, by rule, the rule says you have to start your slide before the bag. Check. He did that. You have to slide into the bag. Check. He did that. And you can't slide past the bag. Check. He did all of that.
So he should be okay.
Yeah, where's the problem? I don't know where the problem is.
Now the umpires are checking the review. This replay review is powered by Samsung. So Barney, he's got an RBI at stake over this replay review.
The throw is right on the bag. So is Pilar. I mean, what else? Where do you want him to go? Hernandez doesn't clear himself. He's standing right in Pilar's way. He doesn't slide over the bag. He's right on top of the bag.
Bill Miller, the umpire, is right there at second base, watches the whole thing, having a good look at the slide. Nothing wrong with that. Pilar's trying to stay out of the way. Just came up on a heap on all fours on top of the bag. He didn't go out of the baseline. He didn't have intent of trying to do anything other than get to the bag and right there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
By my interpretation of the rules, from what we have heard about the new slide rule in the second base, I did not see anything that would say you can call out both of those runners. The second baseman was standing right on top of the bag. I don't know where Pilar would have gone.
Yeah, it's a new rule, obviously, and they're calling
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And see John Gibbons' reaction. That's hard to believe. That is an out. Barney is called out. Pilar with an illegal slide, according to the replay. The Blue Jays have a run taken off the board. You can see how frustrated he is out in center field. And here's the play at second. He is called out for this slide.
Where? Well, you know, the guy steps right into Pilar where he is sliding. He's sliding in front of the bag. He has started his slide. He goes right into the bag and then stays on there. The fielder catches the ball, and watch the foot of Pilar hits his foot. Well, so what?
It's in front of the base.
Yeah, that's where he's sliding. I don't agree with this rule. I don't like it.
No, it's not a good rule. Fly ball to right. Bautista retires Hernandez on the fly ball. You know what? And this is something that's going to have to be discussed, because you could see Hernandez, the second baseman. He was camped out at second. He had no concern whatsoever about getting out of the way of the base runner. Kevin Pilar has been taught his whole life, hey, get down there and break up two. And because one incident where Chase Utley slid into Ruben Tejada, and he got hurt. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, and I can speak from personal experience about that. But they have taken away the whole intent of the slide and the anticipation of one of the most exciting plays in baseball.
That wasn't even a takeout slide. He slid into the base and stayed on the base. And from that, the Blue Jays lose a run.
Yep, they sure do. Darwin Barney loses an RBI. And you're taking the incentive for players to hustle. Barney hustled down the line to beat the return throw to first base. In fact, he did. And then they go to replay review and they turn it over. I don't agree with that one bit.
No.
Aaron Nola, the pitcher, with a 2-2 count.
I saw a play in Baltimore when Boston was playing down there, and the runner went outside of the baseline. There was a throw from the first base and a double play at second base. The runner was outside the baseline, slid into the shortstop. Shortstop grabbed the ball, got knocked down, and they said, well, we can't make it a double play. They said, well, nothing wrong with that. They said, we can't do anything there because you didn't throw the ball. Didn't make any sense to me.
Aaron Nola walks with one out.
The all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
A one-out walk to the pitcher, and Jay Happ has got himself in a little bit of a jam here. Back to the top of the order. Odubel Herrera grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. Herrera goes after the first pitch and fouls it into the seats. See, here's one thing that I know it drives Pete Mackanin crazy, and it drives the veteran coaching staff nuts. You're down by 4. They just walk the pitcher, and your leadoff man steps up and swings at the first pitch.
They've got a lot of free swingers on this team.
You got to get runners on to score 4 runs. And Happ had just walked the pitcher, and that's the last thing he wanted to do. Pete Mackanin and his veteran coaching staff, they have just been teaching baseball every day this season. It's really a challenge when you're in this situation as a manager or coach, because you're so far out of the picture in the pennant race that players have a tendency to think for their own numbers and not for the well-being of the team. And that guy right there on Mackanin's right, I know that drives him nuts. Larry Bowa.
Well, the reason you step on a baseball field is to win. That's number one. You're playing for your team to win. So you got to do all the things that it takes to win. Remember when the Houston Astros turned over their lineup and their organization and started from scratch with all young players? We would play the Astros and go down there, and they'd have workouts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon teaching their young players cutoffs and relays. They were talking about bunt defenses. It was like spring training in the afternoon, watching these young kids learning the game of baseball.
Ball is sliced to left. Saunders moving to his right. He makes the catch, and Herrera's retired. 2 down.
Sometimes that's what it takes when you turn your roster over like that, and you've got all these young kids who haven't finished off their development in the minor leagues. Teach them up here.
Well, unfortunately, so many organizations don't teach the fundamentals as extensively as it once was. They want to get players to the big leagues. They want guys in the big leagues, and you can see it, and you and I see it every day. There are players up here that don't have their fundamental skills polished off just yet. So Freddie Galvis, the switch hitting shortstop, he was called out on strikes his first time up. He goes after a pitch probably up and away. The Phillies won the opener of this home and home 4-game series. Jared Eichhoff and the bullpen shut out the Blue Jays 7-0 on Monday. Little pop up into shallow right. Bautista charging hard, makes a running catch. The inning is over. So Jay Happ, watch the pitcher. They strand him on base. We'll go to the fourth. 4-0 Blue Jays.
'16 Junior Jays Club presented by Boston Pizza. This year's membership includes a Blue Jays ball cap, sunglasses, backpack, and more. Plus, exclusive access to members-only events such as a movie night and photo day with Blue Jays players. Purchase your membership kit at any Jays Shop location or by visiting jayshop.ca. Now let's get you back to Buck and Pat.
Thank you very much, Barry. See a lot of Blue Jay fans here at Citizens Bank Park. Aaron Nola had a rough first inning. It included 3 hits and a pair of home runs. He threw 27 pitches, down to 16 in the second, but jumped back up to 25 in the third. Already closing in on 70 pitches.
I think you always have to be wary of Bautista, Donaldson, Encarnacion, and Saunders. Those were the guys who hit in the first inning, and he threw 27 pitches. Didn't face those guys in inning number 2, faced him in inning number 3, and it was back up to 25 pitches. So being a little bit careful, ended up walking Donaldson and Encarnacion, and both of them looked like they were coming around to score.
We have been given an explanation as to why the call on the field was overturned, and according to the replay umpires in New York, they ruled it as not being a bona fide slide, and the fact that Pilar's slide interfered with the infielder's ability to make a double play. Another reason why they have to change that rule.
So you got to let him make the play?
Yeah, that's like, let him make the play. Again, you're taking away the spirit of the game in my mind with that rule.
Well, it's, look at the slide that caused the injury and look at that slide.
That's not night and day.
It's night and day.
Chase Utley jumped into Ruben Tejada.
Yeah, and broke his leg.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally different
than that.
You know what, if you want to do it right, let the umpires make a determination and say, Kevin Pillar, you did that intentionally, you're out of the game, and we're going to subject you to a suspension. Ryan Goins drills this to right. Paredes is not going to get it. It's over his head off the wall, and Ryan Goins has a leadoff double here in the fourth. Continues to drive the ball with authority.
His approach at the plate is perfect. He's thinking back up the middle or the other way, so when there's a changeup like this, you just pull it naturally. You don't try and pull it. It just happens naturally. This one off the top of the wall, high off the wall for extra bases for Goins.
So Ryan Goins hits his 8th double of the season, and now Jay Happ has a chance to move him up. Happ called out on strikes his first time up. Squares around early. Breaking ball outside. At one point, do you tell Jay Happ to swing the bat when the first baseman's crashing that hard?
Yeah. If you square around that early, and the first baseman is coming right down your throat. Swing away. You got a 4-run lead. Take a shot.
Bunts it right out in front of home, and Rope missed it. He went to throw to third, got ahead of himself, and missed the baseball. He grabbed the air. Then he tried to recover, make a throw to first, too late. Jay Happ bustling down the line.
Phillies are 7th in the National League in fielding percentage. They've made 38 errors. Happ will probably get credited with a sacrifice. Drops that ball out in front now. Rupp was coming to make that play. Look, you see his eyes move, look up just a little bit too quickly. He went to reach for it. The eyes came up. The ball rolled on him one more time and couldn't make a play anywhere.
It's a sacrifice bunt. Charged the catcher with an error. Allows Goins to move to third, and Bautista, he's not waiting around for anything. Jumped on that first pitch and ripped it into the seats.
He's taken a couple of pitches in his first 2 at-bats and struck out both times. Now you've got a runner in scoring position. Let it go. I'd like to see him hit a home run so Jay can just jog around the bases.
Jose would like that too. 1-1 count on Bautista. He has been called out on strikes twice. There's a line drive to left. Goins will come in to score. Happ advances to second, and Bautista drives in the 5th Blue Jay run of the night. RBI number 41 for Jose.
He wasn't going to wait around that time and work the count. He wanted that RBI. And right now, 3rd time through the lineup, Blue Jays are seeing Aaron Nola.
Colton Murray has pitched twice in this 4-game series, and he's going to get some time to loosen up. Bob McClure with a slow walk out to the mound. Aaron Nola has been charged with 5 runs on 8 hits, including a couple of home runs, and Bob McClure, the pitching coach, out to talk about strategy, and there's not a whole lot you can say. They got Josh Donaldson and Edwin Encarnacion coming up next. They have both reached base twice. Edwin has homered, Donaldson has singled, and they've combined to score 3 runs.
It's all set up for him right here. Aaron Nola got an older brother who's playing some professional baseball. He's in the Miami Marlins organization. In fact, he's in New Orleans. He was coached by Tim Leeper when Tim was over in the Marlins organization, so he knows the Nolan family, knows his dad from his days coaching his brother.
Aaron Nola went to LSU. Nobody out. Josh Donaldson. Fastball away. Donaldson has been on base twice. He singled and scored in the 1st. He walked and scored in the 3rd. Nola has pulled both of those fastballs well out of harm's way.
He doesn't want to make a mistake, so he's trying to be too perfect, and he's gotten away from his mechanics.
Donaldson can look curveball right here. He'd probably get one 2-0. Aaron Nola steps off, wants to look at another sign. Nola threw Edward Encarnacion a 3-0 curveball in his last at bat. Threw it for a strike.
Here it is. You were all over that one, partner.
Well, how can you just give him a 2-0 fastball? I mean, he's hitting bullets all over the yard. I don't think he can throw 2 curveballs back to back. I think Donaldson will get a fastball here. Takes another walk. Donaldson's been on base all 3 times. Encarnacion was making his way toward home. Pete McCannon's making his way to the mound. There's going to be a pitching change. Aaron Nola roughed up by the Blue Jays here tonight, and it all started quickly. With one out, Donaldson singled. Encarnacion homered. Saunders homered. 3-0 after the top of the first. Aaron Nola is out. Colton Murray is in to try to cool off Edwin Encarnacion. The Blue Jays have a 5-0 lead here in Philly.
Match competing for the chance to become the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. WWE Money in the Bank, June 19th on the WWE Network. Visit WWE.com/Canada. Buck, I'm actually participating in that.
You are?
Well, no. I wish I was.
No, yeah. It's a little bit under your weight class.
Yeah, I'm in the light youth weight.
Colton Murray makes his 17th appearance. He has pitched twice in this 4-game series. He pitched an inning in last night's game, as he did on Tuesday.
Yeah, this is 3 straight days that we have seen Colton Murray. 16 games this year. 12 of them have been scoreless, and they probably brought him in here. He's got a little bit more of a power arm right here. One of the guys that he faced is standing at the plate a couple of days ago.
Edwin Encarnacion hit a 2-run home run off Murray at Rogers Center in that 11-3 win. Edwin missed Monday's game with that sore finger. He jammed the finger into Manny Machado's shoe on a stolen base, sliding into third head first. Breaking ball. Single to left. Jay Happ comes in to score. Here comes Bautista right behind him. They cut the ball off. 2 more ribbies for Edwin. A 4 RBI night. He's up over 60 now. He's got 61 for the season.
Wow, still nobody out. Watch him wait back on this breaking ball. Sees it, keeps the hands back, and rips this ball in the left field. 2 runs are going to come in. Encarnacion's had a big night. He's been on base all 3 times, and there are the numbers you were just talking about. The league leader now in RBIs. And is it coincidence, Buck, that the only game the Blue Jays lost against the Phillies was the game that Edwin didn't play in?
Yeah, that was bad timing on his part, huh? He is really hot. He now has 21 RBIs in 14 games in June. Michael Saunders has homered already tonight. Donaldson's at second, Encarnacion at first. 7-0 Blue Jays. You remember last year in that great season the Blue Jays put together, they had 2 11-game win streaks. And we all kind of said, well, they won't do that again this year. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they're swinging the bats right now. Talked to DeMarlo Hale about that, and he says, you know, we didn't have just one. 11-game win streak is rare. Doesn't happen very often. He said we had 2 of them last year. And I guess it's just been a matter of time for the Blue Jays. They've been getting good pitching. They have just been waiting for the hitting to come along. It's coming along now.
Coming along nicely, I might add.
Quite nicely.
7 runs on 9 hits, 2 more home runs tonight. The Blue Jays will go down to Baltimore to start a 3-game series with the Orioles tomorrow night. Friday night game, afternoon games on Saturday and Sunday.
Then they don't see the East again for a while. They're going to go out and play some in the Central and some in the West here at the matchup against the Orioles. This is going to be a big series for the Blue Jays. Aaron Sanchez gets it all started tomorrow against Mike Wright. Giovanni Gallardo is going to come off the disabled list and face R.A. Dickey on Saturday afternoon. And then they see Tillman and Stroman. That should be a lot of fun on Sunday.
1-2 to Sanders. He lays off that high pitch. After that 3-game series against the Orioles, the Blue Jays will not face another American League East opponent for 30 games. 30 games outside the division. They won't see another American League East team until the 29th of July when Baltimore returns to Rogers Center.
Wow. Wow. There's a trip out west. I know Oakland and Arizona.
Saunders strikes out. That's the first out of the inning. Jay Happ had a sacrifice, but he wasn't retired. So Michael Saunders strikes out. That's the first out of the 4th inning. The schedule after the Baltimore series, the Blue Jays will have Monday off. Arizona comes in for a quick 2-game series. Then it's Chicago, Colorado. 6 games on the road. And then the Cleveland Indians come into Rogers Center for a 4-game series. Kansas City Royals for 3, Detroit for 4, then the All-Star break.
The first place Cleveland Indians as we speak, and then the world champs come in right behind them.
Russell Martin had an RBI single his last time up. Russell has now picked up 16 RBIs in his last 19 games. Murray's got a pretty good arm out of that bullpen, but you're trying to cool off a hot lineup in the middle of an inning. It's a tough challenge.
Yeah, you're coming in with damage. Everybody on board, and the first guy you have to face is the hottest guy in the American League, Edwin Encarnacion. Probably just use him for this 1 inning because he has now worked 3 days in a row. They bring him into this situation here because he's got a pretty good arm. His fastball looks pretty good. He's got a good tight overhand curveball. Every pitch is maximum effort. Not a lot of deception.
Donaldson and Encarnacion have been on base all 6 times they've come to the plate. Martin hits a high fly ball to left. Left fielder Godell doesn't see it. Now he does, and now he misses it. Donaldson's going to come in to score. Encarnacion's right behind him. He'll stop at 3rd, and Martin ends up at 2nd. Boy, what an inning for the Phillies. twilight here, and Goodell threw his hands up in the air signifying I don't see it, and then picked it up late. Got a glove on it, but was not in position to make a catch.
That ball goes up over the lights like that and gets into the twilight. You lose it. I have no idea where it is. Now I see it, and by then it's too late. He slips right there and then tries to regain his balance, and it's too late. Deflects the ball off of his glove, and it goes all the way to the wall. I was watching Josh Donaldson at second base. He was watching the left fielder. Played that perfectly. And the Blue Jays, the romp is on.
Kevin Pillar goes after the first pitch and pops it up right side of the infield. Joseph is there, makes the catch in foul territory. And the Philly fans, we had talked about the Philly fans, how tough they are. They're applauding that catch for the second out of the inning. Goodell in left field was charged with an error. No RBIs for Russell Martin as Donaldson came in to score. It's just a error on the left fielder.
That second error of the inning. So when you're not hitting and you're not pitching, you got to be able to catch the ball. And they have helped the Blue Jays this inning.
Four runs in this inning. Darwin Barney. For a moment he had an RBI on a fielder's choice, and then the Phillies contested the call on the field. They went to replay review, and it was ruled a slide double play as they ruled Pillar for interfering with the second baseman's ability to turn the double play. Fly ball deep to right. Paredes back just shy of the warning track, and that'll end the inning. But the Blue Jays score 4 runs to make it 8-0. Ryan Goins got it started. He drills a deep double to right center. Bautista cashes in a run. Edwin cashes in 2. The rout is on in Philly.
The All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to BlueJays.com, choose your All-Star Game worthy stars, and send them to the game in San Diego, presented by MasterCard on July 12th. Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote often. Fans, Josh Donaldson, Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion, none of them are leading in their categories. In fact, Donaldson is 3rd. And if you want to see these guys go, you have to get your votes in. Edwin told me today he's not bothered by it, but of course you think he wants to go to the game.
Well, absolutely. Everybody wants to be recognized as an all-star, and Blue Jay fans, you need to get online and vote for your all-stars this season.
I think there's no question they're going to be there. You want to be voted in by your peers. I think that's what the players want to do. They want to be recognized that they are a household name and they get voted in. Not selected, they want to get elected.
Michael Franco hits a grounder to short. Goins throws him out. One down. Goins getting a start at shortstop, and John Gibbons is true to his word. He said whoever swings the bat's going to get playing time. Darwin Barney swung the bat very well for a while. He played a lot. Goins starting to swing the bat a little bit better. He's playing a little bit more.
You know what that creates?
Competition.
Competition. And so you come to the ballpark every day ready to work and ready to contribute to your team. Nobody is sitting back and saying, well, I deserve this or I deserve that. You go out there and you work. It might all change once Troy Tulowitzki gets back. He's going to be your starting shortstop. Tulo is supposed to play again today down in Florida.
In fact, he's supposed to play in Dunedin, which would initiate his rehab assignment. Tommy Joseph, he hit a line drive double to the deepest part of this ballpark in straightaway center. Troy Tulowitzki did start. They're playing Clearwater in Clearwater in the Florida State League. Dunedin has a 2-0 lead. Troy Tulowitzki started at shortstop. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts tonight, but the good thing is he's had 3 at-bats back on the field at shortstop. The appeal down to first, no swing according to Todd Tishner. Tommy Joseph, the first baseman, batting with 1 out here in the 4th. Sean Reed Foley is making the start for Dunedin. He's just been called up from Midwest League Lansing. He is one of the top Blue Jay prospects from the rotation. Made 11 starts in Lansing. 4-3 with a .295 earned run average. I believe he's 20 years old.
Yeah, a very young kid. He's got a good arm. And you talk about the Blue Jays emptying the cupboard in the minor league system. There's still a couple pitchers down there that are going to be big leaguers.
Bautista, he's got a beat on this ball. High fly ball to right off the bat of Tommy Joseph. 2 down. So this time of the year, as the Blue Jays have just gone through the draft, they're starting to sign their drafted players, so they have to create some openings for some of those signees, and they will move and promote guys from level to level now to create some openings so they can stock their short season teams, Bluefield and Vancouver.
About a half a season now in the minor leagues, and you get an idea who can handle the jump up. I think it was just a matter of time before we saw him. The Harris kid should be moving up pretty quickly too. The pitcher that they got last year, who was a #1 pick.
John Harris had a long scoreless streak early in this season in Lansing, the Midwest League team. Cameron Rupp grounded into, lined into a double play. Hit that line drive to first base. Edwin made a catch on the line drive and doubled off Tommy Joseph at second. Jay Happ is making his first start here at Citizens Bank Park since May 5th, 2014. He's pitching for the Blue Jays, and he picked up the win. As Pat mentioned early tonight, Jay is 3-0 in his previous 3 starts against the Phillies.
You throw the ball down there, you're going to be okay. Jay doesn't look as sharp as we have seen him so far this year. Pulling a couple of pitches, fighting himself just a little bit.
Fly ball into center. Pilar over to his right is there, and Jay Happ retires the side in order in the fourth. We'll go to the fifth. The Blue Jays have an 8-0 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Samsung broadcast studio.
Hosting a legend. It is Steven Gerrard and the LA Galaxy coming to BMO Field to take on Toronto FC. The game goes Saturday. It's on Sportsnet 360 at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. I drove by BMO Field the other day, guys, and they have done a lot of great work on that stadium to improve it and make it bigger.
They sure did a great job. I know the Argos played a preseason game there, and it looked like a great venue for both the soccer team and for the football team. So congratulations to that organization for doing a great job of renovating that stadium. Here is Ryan Goins. Blue Jays had a bat around inning in the fourth. Goins got it started with a long double off the wall in deep center field. Ball on the strike to the Blue Jays shortstop. We mentioned Tulowitzki's playing shortstop tonight. I still think he's got to play 4 or 5 games at least to get a good read on him. And obviously this is the first game in the rehab assignment, so he has the ability to play 20 games.
20 games. Yeah, I don't think he's going to need 20 games. Before he had that, I don't even want to call it a setback. He was playing in the game, and he pulled himself from the game because he said he just didn't feel right. So I don't constitute that as a setback. But when he pulled himself out, sat a couple of days, he was going to Buffalo to play in AAA. But because he had that little problem where he pulled himself, he had to wait around. So he's still down in Florida. And I would think a week, maybe 10 days of at-bats. I mean, you sit around, what has it been, a couple of weeks now?
He hasn't played since the 27th of May.
3 weeks. Got to play yourself back into shape.
Remember, he played in New York and came out of that game with that quad strain, and then missed the next 2 games in New York. He came out of the game in New York on the 24th, did not play on Wednesday or Thursday to round out that road trip. Played in 1 game Friday and then shut it down against the Red Sox. Hasn't played since that 27th.
Thigh problem, and Goins and Barney and Travis have filled in nicely. Starting to swing the bat. They become very pesky hitters.
Nice play by Murray on the hot shot comebacker. 1 down.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY expert sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, beautiful downtown area. We are about a mile and a half outside the core of the downtown area. Citizens Bank Park. Jay Happ had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Swings and drives it into center. Now he's got another hit. Jay Happ's second hit of the season. He's way ahead in the pitcher's pool.
All the pitchers. Huh? This is a pretty looking swing right here. Jay Happ, he knows what to do with that baseball bat. Rakes it into center field. His fellow starters enjoying that. And you see Jay over there at first base. Look how cool he is.
Yeah, well, you can't smile as much as he wants to.
Yeah.
Guys are getting on him about the second hit of the season. Jose Bautista picked up an RBI single in the fourth. Bautista's last RBI came in the June 9th game against Baltimore, and he did not play again until Monday against the Phillies. Missed the last two games of the Baltimore series. Got back in against the Phillies as the DH a couple of nights.
Good to see that quad problem it looked like he was having. It's okay for him to play in the field. What might be nice as you get deeper into this ball game, if it stays 8-9-0, you might be able to take him out and rest him for a couple of innings before that big series.
And given the fact this is his fourth at bat, obviously he's had the ability to see plenty of pitches, swing the bat well, give him the rest of the game off, and maybe a career back in there. No telling what Baltimore is going to bring you over the weekend.
Well, they've got 5 guys on the bench. They brought up Andy Burns to have a little bit more flexibility. He can play the outfield. Carrera can play the outfield, obviously, but he's got that ankle problem. Not enough to keep him from playing. If he has to play, he says he can play. But you can put Burns out there in the outfield if you need to rest Bautista.
Bautista hits it on the ground. Galvis to second for one. Back to first. Double play. And the Blue Jays are done in the fifth. They go to the bottom of the fifth. 8-0. Phillies have just one hit. Jay Happ has that many.
Times daily. Go to WestJet.com to book your flight to cheer on the Blue Jays the next time they are at Fenway. WestJet is a proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. But the nice thing about Boston and Baltimore playing each other is as long as the Blue Jays win, they're going to gain a game on one of them.
Absolutely. Baltimore and Boston are tied 37 and 27, and the Blue Jays are 2 games back. They too have 37 wins. Jay Happ has allowed just one hit over 4 innings. He's walked a couple, struck out 2 on 55 pitches, and he's collected a sacrifice bunt and a base hit tonight as a hitter.
That one hit was a leadoff double by Tommy Joseph in the 2nd inning. A couple of walks, 55 pitches through 4 innings.
The Phillies have totaled 15 hits in their last 2.5 games now. They had 7 hits on Tuesday, losing 11-0. They managed just 6 hits on 2 runs last night.
Jay Happ's a different pitcher this year than the one we saw a couple of seasons ago. He can control the fastball like we were talking about earlier today. He can throw the fastball at both sides of the plate. He can turn the ball over now like a 2-seamer or a changeup and gets lots of ground balls.
Nice backhand by Goins in plenty of time to get Jimmy Paredes for the first out in the bottom of the 5th.
But the biggest advantage I think that he has improved on is his slider velocity by season. 2014 it was 83 miles an hour, 84 last year, it's up to 85 this year. When he talks about the slider, it's a slider cutter combination, and he has to keep telling himself, think cutter when I throw that pitch. And what it does, he gets his hand out in front and he throws it just a little bit harder like a fastball, but it's got the same kind of movement as a slider. If he starts thinking about spinning the ball like a slider, that's where he gets into trouble. So he tells himself when he's ready to throw that pitch, think cutter action, think cutter motion, and I think that's why you see the velocity going up the last couple of years.
Interesting, at 33 years old, he would gain velocity on that breaking pitch, but that's a great explanation. The mechanics are better.
The mechanics are better, and it's a different type of pitch. That's a curveball right there. His slider and cutter, they work the same way. But when he says slider, he starts thinking about spinning the ball. When he says cutter to himself, he's thinking about fastball.
This is Tyler Goodell, the left fielder. Goodell was charged with an error on a fly ball off the bat of Russell Martin when he lost it in the twilight here. Actually got a glove on it, but he was stumbling as he scrambled to get a beat on that fly ball. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Another good fastball down at the bottom of that strike zone. 2 down. Let's check it with Jamie Campbell. Thank you very much, and we want to remind you the Blue Jays will be in Baltimore to take on the Orioles, and the pregame show starts at 6:30. That's with Jamie and Greg. 3:30 Pacific time. So make sure you check that out. Mike Wright, the big right-hander, will go to the mound for the Orioles against Aaron Sanchez.
I think the Orioles are going to want some payback after what the Blue Jays did to them, taking 3 out of 4 at Rogers Center. That's going to be a big series, great series.
Tyler Wilson, pitching for the Orioles tonight, has allowed just 1 hit to the Boston Red Sox. That's pretty impressive. Aaron Sanchez, he is going to start. He's anxious to open up against the Orioles. He made his first big league start there last year at Oriole Park in Camden Yards. Cesar Hernandez is behind 1-2. Of course, that young lady is sporting that hat that looks like the Philly fanatic who we saw before the game tonight. Happ with another strikeout. He elevates that pitch and strikes out Hernandez. Through 5, Jay Happ has allowed just 1 hit.
It's Wednesday, June 22nd. The first 15,000 fans will receive one of these shirts. The gates will open at 2 o'clock that day for the 4:07 game. If you want tickets, go to bluejays.com. Buck.
Thank you very much. And that's a good-looking shirt. That Parrot has been carried around the field a couple of times here in Philadelphia. Edwin hit a 2-run home run in the first. This is Andrew Bailey, who came up with the Oakland A's and was their closer for a while. And he's dealt with injuries the last couple of years, but he's thrown the ball okay.
Yeah, 20 strikeouts, 8 walks in 21 games, an ERA of 4.
Peter Borges comes off the bench, takes over in right field. Borges hitting in the pitcher's spot. You know, without the right fielder, Jimmy Paredes moves from right to left. Tyler Goodell is out of the ball game. He is in the 7th spot now. Andrew Bailey, the pitcher, is inserted into that spot.
That's what I love about the National League. You know, you gotta pay attention. There's so many more moves and there's so many opportunities. You got the pitcher now hitting 7th. You got Borges hitting 9th. He's going to lead off the double switch. Had a chance to play in the National League a couple of times. It's a great game.
Everybody on the bench is always into the game. Donaldson fights it off.
Yeah, you'll see guys in the 6th inning start to put their batting gloves on because you can pinch hit so many more times in the National League because you're always wary of where that pitcher is hitting. Guys will go up and get some swings off the tee or go in the cage and get loose.
Edwin Encarnacion is on deck. He hasn't been retired tonight, nor has Donaldson. Donaldson and Bailey were teammates with the Oakland Athletics. There's him a high fastball. Bailey came up and had 24 saves for Oakland in 2011. And then it was a series of injuries. He was eventually dealt to Boston. Look out. Pitch upstairs. Bailey first came to Oakland in 2009. Came up and pitched in 68 games that season.
It's too bad he's had some injury problems over the last couple of seasons. He was a pretty good closer.
He was the Rookie of the Year in 2009 in the American League. Donaldson drives this one to center. That's going to be over the head of Herrera and up against the wall. Josh is headed for second. Another double for Donaldson, his 16th of the season. He's had a perfect night.
He's had a perfect night, and Edwin's had a perfect night.
The drive of the game is brought to you by the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
And here's how this perfect night started for Edwin Encarnacion. First inning, breaking ball, see you later. His 12th home run and 68 at-bats in his career here at Citizens Bank Park. A long home run to left field. Edwin circles the bases with our drive of the game.
Boy, you talk about a couple of guys wearing out the Phillies. Donaldson and Encarnacion. Edwin bends back from that inside fastball. Josh Donaldson is 2 for 2 tonight with 2 walks. He's scored 3 runs already. For the season, he is 8 for 13 against the Phillies with 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs.
We're going to be happy this series is over. He and Edwin have just rocked their world.
Edwin has driven in 4 tonight. He had a 2-run home run in the first, as we just saw. He had a 2-run RBI single in the fourth. 4 ribbies give him 61. He is atop the American League in that department.
Blue Jays have played 68 games. This is their 69th game. And he's got 61 ribbies.
Remember, not long ago, we were looking at David Ortiz and said, man, David Ortiz is way out in front of everybody. Well, now, Encarnacion has passed him by. He's flown past him. Off-speed pitch, and Edwin strikes out. First time they've retired Encarnacion tonight. So Michael Saunders will step to the plate. He's 1 for 3. He homered in his first at bat. They have continually pounded Saunders inside, but it hasn't affected him one bit. He's been able to continue to rack up the hits. He now has 12 home runs.
You know, he's got some movement in that swing. You can see him as he sets up and he gets ready, and he's got to do all of that pre-pitch, but he gets on time. And when you get on time like that, you can hit the ball and hit it a long way. I was looking at some of the stats. Highest average, 94 miles an hour plus fastball. The guy heading into this series against the Phillies who had the highest average was Odubel Herrera. He was hitting 465. Number 5 on that list, Michael Saunders at 389. So guys continue to pound him inside, but he continues to turn it around.
You know, Michael is also 5th in the American League in slugging percentage. Something you have a tendency to overlook, but he now has 12 home runs, 17 doubles, and 2 triples. A late strike call by the home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo. So it's a full count, 1 out. Louis Rivera's been busy lately, waving runners around third. The Blue Jays have been racking up the runs lately. 8 more tonight.
Saw he was icing his shoulder the other day from waving those guys in.
Fly ball to left. Paredes now in left field makes the catch. Saunders retired.
And that's okay. Keep scoring runs. What it does is it gives everybody confidence, and you start playing the game the right way. Hit those sacrifice flies. You don't mind moving that runner over, hitting behind the runner, or laying down a bunt if you have to.
We mentioned the Blue Jays are tied with the Orioles and the Red Sox going into play tonight with 37 wins. Only the Texas Rangers in the American League have won more games than those 3 ball clubs. Texas 41-25 at the start of play.
Didn't they win today with Colby Lewis having a good game?
They won 5-1. Colby Lewis took a no-hitter into the 9th. He lost the no-hitter and lost the shutout. But that Texas team starting to really round into form. They got Chirinos back. Robinson Chirinos, the catcher.
Yu Darvish came up with a bad shoulder.
Yeah,
again.
they put Darvish back. Lewis went 9 innings, allowed 2 hits and a run. Colby Lewis is 6-0. You know what else the Texas Rangers have done? They put Sam Dyson in as the closer.
That's right. And he's got 10 saves already.
Ian Desmond has 44 RBIs.
That was the move right there, putting him in center field.
Russell takes strike 2. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Blue Jays catcher. Russell's 1 for 3. Reached on an air his last time up. He had a high fly ball to left that Tyler Goodell made an error on. This time Martin strikes out. It's held on to by the catcher. Blue Jays get a leadoff double and can't cash him in. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Blue Jays baseball partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. One of the big attractions at Philadelphia is watching the Philly fanatic before and during the game. Jay Happ has seen that over his years here in Philadelphia. Good beginning to his night. Happ just 1 hit over the 5 innings. This is Peter Borges batting in the 9th spot. He entered the game in a double switch. Borges has Philly ties. He also has Blue Jay ties. He is the son of Chris Borges, who was a longtime scout for the Blue Jays. And he was a scout during the Pat Gillick administration, and they had all kinds of great scouts. Gord Lakey, formerly of the Blue Jays with the Phillies in the scouting department.
Pat brought a lot of them over here when he became the general manager, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Blue Jays were one of the best organizations in baseball. It's scouting young talent, putting together great minor league systems.
And not surprisingly, the Phillies went on a nice run, had a World Series championship.
Borges strikes out. Jay Happ has had 3 strikeouts in a row. He has now struck out 5 during the game.
He's faced Peter Borges 3 times in his career. He struck him out 3 times. That time it looks like he turned the ball over. Got it out of the strike zone. 1 down.
Happ has now retired 9 in a row here in the middle innings. Ironically, the last man to reach against Jay Happ was the pitcher Aaron Nola, who drew a 1-out walk in the 3rd. The only hit Happ has allowed came leading off the 2nd. Tommy Joseph had a long double to center field.
He was ahead of Nola too there. If you remember that at bat, he was ahead 1-2, and then ended up losing him.
Base hit, right field, Herrera. as the second Philly hitter tonight.
This is a team, the Phillies, that have struggled to score runs, get base hits this season. They don't have a lot of power. I think that's one of the problems that they've had. They just don't have guys who could make up for those slumps where one swing of the bat can get you a couple of runs.
The Phillies have 59 home runs, near the bottom in the National League. Freddie Galvis hits a high fly ball. Michael Saunders is there, makes the catch in foul territory. That's the second out of the inning. The Phillies are 11th in the National League in home runs. Just don't have much power, and they came into this game 7-6 against left-handed pitching. Jay Happ has really had their number tonight.
This is their home run leader right here. 11 home runs and 33 RBIs.
First pitch changeup off the plate outside. That's a balk on Jay Happ, and he got in between, started and stopped, and the runner Herrera will go to second base.
Let's take a look at it one more time on the mound. And there's the little flinch right there.
Yeah, he just moved into that delivery, and he knew he had committed the balk. Popped up. First baseman Encarnacion comes down from first and stays with it and makes the catch. So the Phillies strand a base runner. We'll go to the seventh. It's all Blue Jays. It'll be Kevin Pillar. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Darwin Barney has singled. Ryan Goins has a double, and he scored a run. 8-0 Blue Jays.
It is a rematch of last year's NL wildcard game. The best team in baseball hosting the National League Central rival. Chris Bryant and the Cubs take on Gregory Polanco and the Pirates. That's at Wrigley Field. It goes tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific. And Buck, an update from Dunedin. Troy Tulowitzki with a base hit in his 4th at bat tonight.
That's good news for the Blue Jays and Troy Tulowitzki. Had 4 good at-bats tonight, and hopefully he'll be close to coming on. This is a deep drive to left. This ball is gone off the bat of Kevin Pillar. Pillar gets into the act. His 6th home run of the season. He's had a 2-hit night. Jumped on that first pitch from Andrew Bailey.
You know, that's been his approach over the last 10 days or so. It says, you know, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to sit on a fastball. I'm going to look for the first pitch strike. And if I think it's a strike, I'm going to let it go. His last time up, he had a couple of runners on base, swung at the first pitch, popped it up. That didn't keep him from jumping all over this first pitch. Fastball up in the strike zone, and he crushes that thing. That's 6 home runs now for Pilar.
6 home runs, and he picks up his 25th RBI of the season. Darwin Barney, he lost an RBI on a replay review. He reached on a fielder's choice. A runner came in to score from third, but they took it to replay review, and the slide was ruled illegal by Kevin Pilar at second, called the double play, and Barney lost an RBI.
Not a bona fide slide?
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's the rule.
And if you interpret it to the letter of the law, you probably have to agree with it. And Greg Zahn explained the interpretation, how Pilar slid into the foot. It was a little bit offline, but I think the spirit of the rule is misguided. I think they should revisit it. Get some ball players involved in the decision.
I think everybody can determine the difference between a takeout slide where you try and drill somebody in the slide we just saw tonight. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. Leave it in the umpire's hands, and they can determine whether or not there was intent to injure the player. I think that's the key word. There's always been intent to break up a double play.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of the game. How many times over your career did a first base coach tell you, hey, get a good jump and break up 2?
Every time you're on first base and less than 2 outs.
Darwin Barney overall 1 for 3 tonight. Evan Travis did not start at second tonight. Barney had already tossed the bat aside. He thought it was ball 4. The home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo, rings him up.
Bailey's got a good fastball. He was an all-star twice in his career. 2009 and 2010, and paints that inside corner with that fastball. Bailey is from this area. He's from the Jersey area. In fact, he went to high school very close to this ballpark, just 7 miles away.
Bailey was traded to the Boston Red Sox from Oakland for Josh Reddick. That was a good trade for both teams, except that Bailey never could stay healthy for the Red Sox.
Yeah, if they got the version, the all-star version, the guy who was healthy, that would have been a good trade for the Boston Red Sox. Turned out nicely for Oakland. Got a young player, everyday player, 30 home run hitter to play in the outfield.
Bailey missed the entire 2014 season after undergoing shoulder surgery. Brian Goins has had a double. Goins doubled in the 4th inning, started that 4-run 4th inning.
Their at-bats have been good. Barney and Goins and Pilar. We talked about them at the end of the game yesterday. At the bottom of the lineup is starting to heat up to make this lineup just a little bit more dangerous. And their at-bats have been great.
Nine runs on 12 hits. They continue to rack up the hits, score the runs. Coming into this game, they have done a terrific job against the Phillies. This time Goins chases one upstairs and strikes out. The Blue Jays got shut out on Monday at Rogers Center 7-0, and then won 11-3 last night here in Philadelphia. They won 7-2, and they have a 9-0 lead. Batting in the top of the 7th.
Jay Happ gets another at bat. Thanks to that home run by Kevin Pillar.
Jay Happ struck out looking his first time up, then dropped down a sacrifice bunt. The catcher, Cameron Mupp, committed an error. Happ was credited with the sacrifice, but in his third at bat, he had a clean single to center off Colton Murray.
I did a little investigating, and I found out that they do not have a pitcher's pool going for base hits, which is a surprise.
So Kevin Pillar homered, and that started the inning, and then Andrew Bailey strikes out the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th.
Presented by the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Beautiful shot of downtown Philadelphia. We are just on the south side of Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park. The Blue Jays will jump on the buses after this game and drive to Baltimore. Just under 2 hours down I-95. Jay Happ, 78 pitches through 6 innings. He's allowed just 2 hits. Tommy Joseph got the first hit off of Jay Happ, a leadoff double in the second. Odubel Herrera had a single with 1 out in the 6th, and he was stranded on base. Two and 0 to the big first baseman. Jay Happ, as we mentioned, his pitch count is in very good shape.
Lots of 1, 2, 3 innings tonight for Happ on small amount of pitches.
Just fouled down the left field line, bounced into the seats. Another souvenir for a lucky fan. Donaldson has that one go off his foot. I believe it hit his foot before it hit his glove. Trying to get a glove down. That ball gets into left field.
Don't know if he got the glove down quick enough. You have to have some kind of reactions down there at third base because it gets to you quickly. Let's see. Josh gets down. Yeah, it hit his foot first and then ricocheted out into left field.
5th error of the season charged to Donaldson. That's the way the Phillies start the bottom of the 7th.
He was telling me before the ball game, going to his left, he says he feels so confident this year going to his left, making those plays. That time the foot got in the way.
Cameron Rupp drives this one to right. Bautista has it go over his head. Pilar is backing him up. Joseph goes to third. Rupp ends up at second. A double to the wall in right field over the head of Bautista, and Jose may have slammed his foot up against that scoreboard.
Yeah, I think he did in his haste to go out and get that ball. It's like he jammed it up against the wall, and he's hurting. This ball just took off. I didn't think Rupp hit that ball that hard, but watch Bautista's left foot get caught underneath that and slam up against that scoreboard. And he's hurting.
Yeah, George Poulos, the head trainer, is out to attend to Bautista, and watch as he gets that foot right up against it. The left foot slammed up against it and bent it back. And he is hurting. He's in a lot of pain, and he started walking toward the infield as soon as that ball was played back in. So it looks like he's going to leave this game. He knows his body very well, and he's being helped off by George Poulos. An unfortunate turn of events here in the bottom of the 7th. So John Gibbons talking with Ryan Goins. It looks like Goins is going to go to the outfield. Devin Travis did not start. He might come in. Barney would slide over to shortstop, and Devin's going to go inside, maybe get a glove. But Bautista is being helped off the field. An apparent injury to his left foot, it appeared.
Well, there's a number of things that could happen there. You never like to see that guy come walking off the field in a 9-0 ball game. One more time, watch the left foot hit the wall and jams. It looked like the toes bent back, and he felt that one right away.
So he will go inside the trainer's room, and they'll attend to Bautista, and hopefully they'll get some good news about that. So Ryan Goins, he's going to head out to right. Devin Travis has just emerged from the dugout. He's going to go to left, and Barney will slide over and play shortstop now. Two on, nobody out. Donaldson committed an error to start the inning. Rupp hit a double, so there are runners at second and third and nobody out. So Ryan Goins takes over in right field. Remember, Ezekiel Carrera sprained his ankle a little bit on a swing last night, and they probably judged it prudent to keep him out of this ball game.
Yeah, he rolled it yesterday. He'd probably play if he had to. Just as soon not. There's Darwin Barney, who slides over to play shortstop. Some versatility by the Blue Jays this inning. Jay Happ stepped off right there because the public address announcer was talking about all the changes when he was getting ready to throw.
Jimmy Paredes has walked and grounded out to short. He goes after the first pitch. Gavin Floyd, he too a former Philly, starts to loosen up. Andres Blanco is on deck. It's the pitcher's spot. Andrew Bailey came into the ball game and pitched the 6th, batting in the 7th spot in the order. Paredes fouls this one down the right side. 9-0. The Phillies have 3 hits. Ground ball. Donaldson will go to first. A run will come in as Joseph comes in to score, and you can hear the Philly fans acknowledging they're finally on the scoreboard. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. CC Sabathia has pitched very well for the Yankees. He has allowed a run on 4 hits. He has 6 strikeouts through 4 innings.
Tampa Bay just passed the Yankees in the standings. Tampa's 8-2 in their last 10. The Yankees 5-5.
Andres Blanco goes after the first pitch and flies out to Goins in right. Cameron Rupp stays put at second. Blanco pinch hitting for the pitcher. Cesar Hernandez, the second baseman, 0 for 2. Trying to keep a hit streak alive. He has a mini 3-game hit streak.
Limit the damage. That's what Jay Happ's trying to do, trying to pick up his teammate after the error that led off this inning, then a double.
Ground ball. Devin Travis gets his first chance since coming into the game, and that'll do it. So the Phillies get on the scoreboard in the bottom of the 7th. We'll go to the 8-9-1 Jays.
Shop for your Toronto Blue Jays. New 2016 authentic jersey with 40th season sleeve patch is now available. Get yours today at jshop.ca. They don't sell banjos there, Buck, but it would be kind of cool to have one.
Now the Philly fanatic putting on a show here in between innings. He's got a fan from the stands helping him out with the dueling banjos, if you will. This is David Hernandez making his 31st appearance.
Look at those numbers that Hernandez can throw up at you. 30 games this year. He's averaging almost 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's the highest he has had since he averaged 12 a couple of years ago before he got hurt. Hernandez has a good arm.
Devin Travis into the game defensively after Bautista was removed with an injury. We have not heard the extent of the injury, but it appeared to be something related to his left foot. There's a drive to left, high and deep, and Devin Travis has just hit a home run. For Devin Travis, his second home run of the season.
And you can see glimpses of his stroke starting to come back. How many at-bats does he have now as he starts to get the timing?
That was 74.
That's a pretty good spring training right there, and he's been swinging a hot bat lately. His approach at the plate has been so much better. He keeps that front shoulder in, and the speed of that curveball, it's a hanging breaking ball, sped up his bat, crushes it to left field.
Josh Donaldson has been on base 4 times tonight. A single, 2 walks, and a double. The Blue Jays, 3 or more home runs in interleague games since 2006. They have 13 such games. They lead baseball in that category.
4 more tonight. Let's see, Encarnacion, Saunders, Pilar, and now Devin Travis.
Donaldson has scored 3 runs tonight. He came into the ball game 3rd in runs scored in the American League. He has now moved up and tied Ian Kinsler of the Tigers with 57. Josh Donaldson swinging a hot bat right now. That's his 3rd hit of the night. He's been on base 5 times.
He was talking about that kind of swing right there before the ball game with me about what do you try to go to right field. He said it depends on the type of pitch. And if they're going to throw me fastballs away with 2 strikes, I'm going to shorten things up. And watch this approach. Watch how deep that ball gets. Doesn't have to have a full swing. Just poke at it.
Ground ball to short. Now this goes to second, and that's all they're going to get. No return throw to first. Encarnacion on with the fielder's choice. Michael Saunders, he steps in, 1 for 4. One and 1 count to the Blue Jays left fielder. Saunders average now at 309. Because after that high pitch.
What a week it's been for the offense for the Blue Jays. Saturday against the Baltimore Orioles. 11 runs. And followed that up with 10 on Sunday.
Fly ball to center, not that deep. Herrera, the center fielder, calls for it. And he flipped the ball out of the ballpark, and Encarnacion is going to go to second. Two bases. He goes to third on that one. This is inexcusable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's 2 outs.
Herrera thought there were 3 outs, flips the ball out of the ballpark. And that's embarrassing for the Phillies. He just flipped the ball over the wall thinking that that was the 3rd out of the inning. Encarnacion is awarded 2 bases. And Pete McCannon, he can't be happy about that. There's the only guy in the ballpark that's happy about that. He's the one that got the ball.
Watch it one more time. Fly ball. He thinks it's 3 outs, just flips it to a kid in the front row, but You know, physical mistakes are one thing. It's okay. Everybody makes physical mistakes. That's a mental mistake right there. You're not in the game. I know it's 10-1. I know it's the 8th inning. I know your team hasn't been winning, but you got to play the game the right way.
Russell Martin hits one deep to right center. This has got a chance. It is off the wall. Encarnacion is in to score. Martin will end up at second with an RBI double.
Blue Jays pouring it on now, taking advantage of some mistakes. Herrera is charged with an error, 2-base error. Encarnacion can jog home on that double to right field. You know, when you're not playing well, you have to play the game the right way.
Absolutely.
You got to run hard on everything. You got to be in the game. It just doesn't look good.
Kevin Pillar homered on the first pitch he saw in the 7th of Andrew Bailey. Home run number 6 for Pillar. He's had a 2-hit night. (10-1) Blue Jays. Excuse me, it's 11-1. They scored 2 runs here in this inning. And you look at the box score, everybody up and down the order contributing. Pillar hits one deep to left field. This is going to go. A 2-homer game for Kevin Pillar. A 2-run home run.
I was talking to Brooke Jacoby the other day, and I was talking about Pillar. He's the hitting coach of the Blue Jays, and he was saying that nobody on this team hits the ball harder than Kevin Pillar when they are doing flips or when they're doing some work inside those cages, and he feels that he has the ability to hit 20 home runs. When I asked him what his ceiling is, he said, I think he can hit 20 home runs. Well, this is number 2 tonight. Curveball, inner half, and that ball got out of here quickly.
Darwin Barney goes after the first pitch. The Blue Jays scored 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 1 in the 7th, and now 4 more here in the 8th. Five home runs in the game for the Blue Jays.
Another multi-home run game right there for Pillar, his 2nd of his career.
That's a season high 5 home runs for the Blue Jays. They had 4 home run games. First time they've hit 5 in a game, and it's now 13-1. Barney fouls it back. You can hear the Blue Jay fans with their "Let's Go Blue Jays" chant.
You can hear the Philly fans booing them.
Not received very well here in Philadelphia. (13 runs on 16 hits. Barney stays alive. Kevin Pillar has 2 home runs tonight, the 2nd multi-home run game of his career. He also had one last June in Washington against Scherzer. He's up to 7 home runs now. Barney has another base hit. 2 hits for Darwin Barney.
You know what I like about both of those home runs that Pillar has tonight? They were effortless swings. He didn't try and overswing to knock the ball out of the ballpark. He just put a good swing on both of those pitches. Same thing with Devin Travis with his home run this inning.
Travis just came off the bench to take over for Bautista. Jay Happ. Well, he had a 3-run lead before he took the mound here tonight. Happ will win his 8th game of the season. Brian Goins had a double back in the 4th. Justin Smoak has grabbed the bat. The pitcher's spot is next. That's going to go all the way back to the screen. Barney will move up. A wild pitch charge to Hernandez. Hernandez came in and started the inning, gave up a home run to the first batter he faced, Devin Travis. Two and 0 to Goins.
I think he's not praying for a quick out here.
He'd probably just as soon go out to the bullpen and come back into the dugout. What about Herrera threw a ball into the seats after he caught the second out of the inning. It cost the Phillies 2 bases. It's a high fly ball to left. Paredes is waiting on it, and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays score 4 runs in the top of the 8th, or the bottom of the 8th. 13-1 Blue Jays. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Samsung Broadcast Studio.
Samsung 55-inch 4K TV. To do that, we need to hear your best dad joke. Share it on our Rogers Facebook page for a chance to win one of those wonderful TVs. And Buck, I had a dream last night that I was a muffler. I woke up exhausted.
Well,
Dad!
Those are pretty bad dad jokes, Barry. Gavin Floyd takes over for Jay Happ. Happ goes 7 innings, allows 1 run. It was an unearned run.
Gavin has pitched in this series. He finished off that 11-3 win by the Blue Jays on Tuesday. 24 games for Gavin, the former Philadelphia Philly. Had a 1-2-3 ninth inning. A couple of other changes for the Blue Jays.
Andy Burns takes over defensively at third, and Justin Smoak is in at first for Encarnacion. Peter Borges, he struck out in his only previous at bat. That came in the 6th. He lines this one to left. Michael Saunders loses it in the lights. It goes all the way up against the wall. Borges gets the benefit of that ball being lost in the lights as Floyd gives up the line drive, and Michael Saunders couldn't find it in the lights.
That's been his own worst enemy this year. The lights, it just seems like it gets in there and Michael just can't keep his eye on that ball and find it. It will fall for a double for Borges. There's the big bank of lights that he's got to deal with on those low liners to left field.
So for Peter Borges, that's his 10th double of the season. Here is Odubel Herrera, the center fielder that tossed that ball into the seats. It cost him an error and contributed to that 4-run top half of this inning. He goes after the first pitch, and Borges is around third. He's going to score. Herrera has his second hit.
The all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Blue Jays and Phillies are wrapping up their 4-game series. 2 at Rogers Center, 2 here in Philadelphia. Blue Jays have a 13-2 lead. Gavin Floyd taking over here in the 8th inning for Jay Happ. So fly ball to center. Pilar has got plenty of room. He will make the catch.
Guys, we have an update on Jose Bautista. The Blue Jays are saying it is left soreness in his big toe. Just to be on the safe side, they're having a precautionary x-ray on it, but that's the update right now on Jose Bautista.
Well, keep your fingers crossed that it's nothing more than soreness in that big toe, but he slammed up against that fence pretty hard out there in right field and bent that toe back. So hopefully they'll get some good news about that. Michael Franco goes after the first pitch, and he has had an 0-for-3 night with a strikeout.
I think he was looking for a fastball on that first pitch.
He was anticipating a strike.
I wouldn't throw him a fastball at all in this at-bat after you see that.
He pops up the breaking ball. Russell Martin over near the Blue Jays dugout in foul ground makes the catch. Two away here in the bottom of the 8th. Tommy Joseph 1 for 3 tonight. He scored a run in the 7th, the first Philly run. That came on a ground ball off the bat of Jimmy Paredes. Phillies with 2 runs on 5 hits. Gavin Floyd was a Philadelphia Philly #1 pick. He was drafted 4th overall in 2001 out of high school in Baltimore. He was traded to the Chicago White Sox along with Gio Gonzalez for Freddie Garcia in December of 2006. And that's where he really made a name for himself, was with the Chicago White Sox.
Big sturdy starter. He's now learning how to pitch out of the bullpen. Starting to come along for him. Got a great breaking ball.
You know, the benefits of this big offensive turnaround has been the fact that you've been able to rest Roberto Osuna.
Exactly.
He hasn't pitched in 5 days coming into this game, and he was getting a lot of work. Joseph strikes out. That ends the bottom of the 8th. The Phillies get a run. We'll go to the 9th. It's all Blue Jays here in Philadelphia.
Sports Service delivers everything you've come to expect and more. You can watch every out-of-market game live and in true HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium. That's the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.com for details. To the 9th inning we go. Let's get you back to Buck and Pat.
Thank you very much, Barry. As we go to the 9th, this is Genmar Gomez, who is the closer for the Phillies. This is the first time we've seen him in the 4 games.
They haven't had to use him. 7-0. They won the other game. The other 3, they've been outscored by a large margin. What a year Genmar is putting together. He's 19 for 21 in saves this season. Good slider, a good changeup, sinker. Throws a lot of strikes.
Andy Burns took over defensively in the bottom of the 8th. He's batting for the first time here, leading off the 9th.
You know how it's been in this series? We have played now 36 innings. This is the 36th inning in this series that the Blue Jays have hit. They've been retired 1, 2, 3. 3 up, 3 down, 2 times. That's how it's gone for Philadelphia and how it's gone for the Blue Jays offensively.
Andy Burns hits it to first. Joseph will step on the bag. 1 down. Time now for the schedule ahead, brought to you by WestJet. And we look ahead to the Blue Jays' schedule after this game. They go down to Baltimore for a 3-game series against the Orioles. Monday's an off day. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks are at Rogers Center for a 2-game series. Thursday is also an off day. The Blue Jays will go to Chicago to take on the White Sox over the weekend, a 3-game series. The pitching matchups, Aaron Sanchez will open it up against Mike Wright in Baltimore. R.A. Dickey on Saturday against Giovanni Gallardo. Marcus Stroman on Sunday against Chris Tillman. Devin Travis homered in his only plate appearance here tonight. Pulls this one to third. That's a fair ball. Michael Franco throws him out.
Baltimore has lined up their best pitchers to try and slow down the Blue Jays offensively. You know, I don't know if you can do that.
Not right now. Not the way they're hitting, and they've got balance in the attack. 13 runs on 17 hits. This is a good momentum game to carry into Baltimore.
Yeah, it could have been a throwaway game for the Blue Jays, but they came out swinging, and they haven't stopped.
Justin Smoak batting for the first time in this 2-game series. He took over defensively at first. Kevin Pillar with a 2-home run game tonight. One of 5 home runs the Blue Jays have pounded out here in Philadelphia. A season high 5 home runs. Looking ahead to the Arizona Diamondbacks series, it'll be Marco Estrada against Patrick Corbin on Tuesday night. And then tonight's starter Jay Happ against Robbie Ray on Wednesday.
A couple of lefties facing the Blue Jays.
Yep. Patrick Corbin 3-6 so far this season. Robbie Ray 3-5.
Arizona has a unique series here in Philadelphia. They're actually here in Philadelphia. I saw a lot of the players and coaches around the hotel today.
Now it's a wraparound 4-game series. They will play 4 games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday before they head up to Toronto. Michael Saunders went back-to-back with Edwin Encarnacion in the first inning. The 5th time the Blue Jays have hit back-to-back home runs this season, and the last time it was also Encarnacion and Saunders going back-to-back on the 11th of June. Offense up and down the batting order tonight.
Yeah, this whole series, again, just 2 times. The Phillies have been able to retire the Blue Jays this whole series. 1, 2, 3.
Russell Martin with 2 hits and 2 more RBIs. He's now picked up an RBI in 7 straight games. The offense was so good tonight. Jay Happ went 1 for 3.
with a sacrifice.
More importantly, he's going to pick up his 8th win of the season. Smoke hits it on the ground. That bounces up and hits Hernandez right in the face. That's the kind of night it's been for the Phillies, and that took a wicked hop. He was all set to backhand it. The ball took a funny hop, kicked off his glove, and appeared to hit him right in the left side of his face.
Boy, those are the ones you fear right there. You got to have confidence to go down and catch the ball. But that last hop takes that tricky hop, and it looks like it hit his glove and shot ricochet right off his face. Smoke hits it hard. 1, 2, 3, and there it is, right off the glove and then off the face.
Devin Travis took a shot off the shoulder last year in Cleveland off the bat of Brandon Moss. Looks like Hernandez is okay. Starling Marte of the Pirates last night tried to make a diving catch in left field. The ball came up and hit him on the face. He got an instant mouse under his eye. He had to leave the game.
To make matters worse, Hernandez is going to get charged with an error on that.
That's an error?
That's what they called it.
That's a bad hop. He seems to be okay physically, but you can see that eye starting to swell up a little bit. The Phillies have committed 4 errors tonight, including the mental error by the center fielder.
Dropped ball in left field tonight. We've seen that one.
Josh Tolle is batting for Edwin Encarnacion. Big night for Edwin. He is swinging a hot bat now. Tolle goes after the first pitch and gets it past the pitcher. Hernandez flips to the first baseman to end the inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Blue Jays are going to win this series against Philadelphia.
Jays. So if you are catching a game here in the States, you can share all of those experiences as they happen with your friends and your fans back home. Roam like home from Rogers. You can use your phone exactly as you do at home, starting at $5 a day in the U.S. Go to Rogers.com/roam like home for details. So much to write and tweet about tonight, Buck, with the Blue Jays just destroying Philadelphia.
Well, they are. It's 13-2. Blue Jays have 17 hits. New pitcher is Joe Biagini, making his 24th appearance of the season.
Trying to finish this one off here. Here are the numbers for Biagini, his last couple of outings. Joe's been a little bit of rusty, so he gets a chance to work into an inning here.
Jay Happ is in line for the win. He goes 7 strong innings, got his 3 hits, did not allow an earned run, walked 2 and struck out 5. Tapped through 89 pitches, so he is in good shape. His ERA at 3.41 for the season. The win will be his 8th.
Too bad we can't put his hitting line on that pitching line. They contributed with a hit. He also scored a run.
Cameron Rupp, the catcher, takes a hack at that first pitch. Ground ball. Barney to Smoke. 1 down. Now for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman. Thank you very much, Ken and Ivanka. That's all coming up right after this ball game. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Jimmy Paredes drove in the first Philly run of the game. He goes after the first pitch, and it's a high fly into center. Pilar calls it and makes the catch. So with 2 outs, the Phillies are going to send up a pinch hitter. Cody Ashley, the pinch hitter. Ashley had a good game for the Phillies last night. He had a 3-hit game. He hit a home run in the 2nd inning on Marco Estrada, and then added 2 more doubles. 3 for 4 with a run scored and 2 RBIs.
That's a helpless situation, isn't it? You come in to pinch hit, 13-2. Pitcher's just pouring fastballs right in there, and you got to take one. Can't go up there hacking away.
The ball on a strike to Ashe. Been a tough stretch of games for the Phillies.
They got off to such a great start this year. He kept talking about, wow, the Phillies, look how well they're playing. They're in a little bit of a rut right now.
Ashe hits it to center. That should be the ball game. Pilar is there, and it is. The Blue Jays win a big one. 13-2 on 17 hits. 5 home runs, a season high for the Blue Jays.
Well, they did what they were supposed to do facing the Phillies. They came into this series, the Phillies, they were down, and the Blue Jays put the wood to them, taking 3 out of the 4 games. They lost the first one and then came back 11 runs in the second, 7, and then 13 more tonight to gain some momentum as they head down to Baltimore.
The Blue Jays are now 8 games over 500. We thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night from Baltimore. Blue Jays will move south, play the Orioles. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central. Ken and Ivanka.